Friends, I hope you are with us. Hello, hello, hello. I try to control our situation with the walking tour, and now I try to connect with our volunteers. As you see, we use VK for connection, and I told them that I have already started stream, and now you can see secret view that we are ready for your walking tour. This is the location that you can see. This is our volunteers. We are waiting for their stream, and then let's wait. Today you can see Kubyshev Street. Kubyshev Street, as you remember, the street that had the same name like our city was named during from 1935 until 1990. Our city was named not Samara. Our city was named Kubyshev, and the Kubyshev Street is the street in order that our city. Kubyshev Street is interesting street of our city because it's a street of contrast. You can see so many different kind of houses, of places, and I don't want to tell you more because our volunteer prepare for your excursion. If I will tell you now, it's not so interesting. Please be ready for question, be ready with your answer, be ready for have a good trip, and I wait our volunteers. I hope that they have already come to our place, and I want to mention that they start with the place which is called Revolution Square. Revolution Square is the first place of Samara, where located the monument of Lenin. Lenin is a famous person of Russia. He created USSR, as you remember. As you don't remember, please be ready. I try to connect with our volunteer. They say that they are ready a little bit. Also, I want to mention that you can see beautiful park, which is named Strukovsky Garden. And Strukovsky Garden is the first park of Samara city. And this park was a lot of events during the long history of our city. And Strukovsky Park sorry for my little bit stop. Because as you see, our volunteers are ready, but they look what they're doing. They make photos. This is our volunteer Daniel. As you remember, he loves dumplings very much, and now he make photo. I asked Daniel, what are you doing? Are you ready for stream? Daniel said yes and sent me photo. So, as you see, our volunteers are ready. So I check again. Let's wait. I ask you to find Instagram chosen scenes and make likes. I think he will post this photo.
Ты скажи еще, что между включениями будут заглушечки.
Хорошо. Don't be afraid, and you see red steps with white letter. It's the name of the next location. Please don't lose our connection. We want to see you again. I'm a little bit nervous because I forgot my English, but please don't hear me. Be ready for good English with our volunteers. Where are they? And now you can see start of our volunteers. I hope so that you can start. But now let's wait. Wow. I think
У них звук есть.
We can start.
Все нормально.
I ask, shall I start? And they... Так. Закрыть. Interesting. So.
Когда мы будем в эфире? Я думаю, что можно уже запускать.
Как всегда, когда начинается эфир, все ломается. Сейчас скажи, пусть пока выключит нас. Пусть выключит нас пока. Сейчас он настроится. Потрясающе. Все, нормально. Probably you've heard something about the revolution of the history class. So we are standing here. Here you can see the monument of Lenin or Ulyanov. So we're located here at the Revolution Square, and it's still extremely hot here in Samara. Lenin is the main revolutionary in Russian Empire and in United Soviet Socialistic Republic. So here founded the Soviet Union as you know it. So guys, as you can see, here's the bird on the head of Lenin. Also, you can see beautiful flowers on the bottom of this monument. You know that some of our citizens, they like flowers, especially, I'm sorry for some technical problems, especially during the summer. We adore flowers. Пусть переключает. Он не слушается. We're sorry again for some technical problems. You know, it can happen anything during the hot weather. So as I mentioned before, this is Lenin. He is the main revolutionary in the Russian Empire, And I guess that you know something more about this person, about his life. So it's like in previous years, it was the historical center. It was the main center of Samara city, but now we call it just a historical city center. So this square was like in the middle of our city, but now because the city is urbanizing, you know, this is urbanization process and so on. So it's just like the old part of the city. So we call it like historical or old city, old city center. So as I mentioned before, there are lots of flowers because Russians, we adore flowers, especially women, and you can see many flowers at the bottom of the monument. So the shape of the square is a circle. It's a circle, and you can see that transport, cars, automobiles, they just go around our circle, around our square. And you can see there are lots of trees, not only flowers, lots of trees are growing here. So, and I forgot to inform you that today we have a huge company of volunteers that will accompany me. So here you can see Daniel, Arsen, and Sebastian. And today we are going to have a stream for you. So let's go, guys. We will show you our main street. It is called Kuybyshev Street. As you know, Kuybyshev was one of the person that made the revolution in Russian Empire, right? Kuybyshev, Trotsky, Lenin, or okay, Ulyanov. I guess that we heard any of the surnames. And also here you can see the main judge, the main court of Samara city. So I guess there are no cars, and we can go. We are going through the main street of Samara, named after Kuybyshev revolutionary. During the World Cup in 2018, the street was forbidden to go there for any transport. It was only pedestrian street. There was lots of carnivals, of dancing, and so on. So we are going straight through the street, and you can see like architecture is wonderful here. I hope that you can hear me clear. So let's go, guys. You can see some old buildings, like an ancient architecture, and probably you know that the age of some of the buildings is around, I guess, more than 100 years. They stayed here. It stayed here through. It stayed here through the since many years. I guess for more than 100 years. I guess we will. I guess we can do it a little bit later. So you can see here the architecture of Samara city. And now, I guess you've been there already. We will cross the street Leningradskaya, named after the hero city Leningrad. Leningrad is the previous name of St. Petersburg. Now it is famous like a cultural. Now it's famous like a cultural capital of Russia. Now we will come closer to the main post office of Russia. No, not of Russia, of course, of Samara city, because the main post office of Russia is located in Moscow. So here you can see buildings, like old buildings. You can see the many cafes, restaurants, on the first floors, and we still going and going and going. Look at the design of some of the buildings. Of course, it's been renovated some years ago, but still, here you can see, probably you will be able to read it in Russian. Гостиница Жигули. It's like an economy class of the host of hotel, or it's like now we call it nowadays hostel. Жигули, I mentioned before, Жигули is mountain. It's mountains. It's like mountain system that's located here in Samara region. So just look at the part, at the design, at the architecture of this building. Look at this, at those shapes of the windows. It reminds me about St. Petersburg. Yep. So let's go. Let's go straight. Just 1 minute and then we will be closer to Samara's main post office. Here, for example, you can send any letters, envelopes, or postcards, or parcels, and so on. On the other side of the street, you can see some renovated building of the light blue color. Oh, and look at this cloud. So we need to wait. Oh, and then I will be more than happy to show you, probably you've already seen it. It's like a souvenir shop. And guess what? What of the shape, or what of the symbol of this souvenir market is 3 to 1 is matryoshka. Matryoshka is probably one of the main doll of Russia. You can see that it's like a huge matryoshka. So let's go. And here you can see the building. No, there's no need to show any special picture, because here you can see the building of the main post office of Samara city. On the top you can see the globe, the planet, and maybe you will be able to see people who is trying to move to shift the globe. This building was renovated several years ago, and here you can read Ордена знак почета Самарский почтамт. It means that Samara post office was rewarded with a special sign, with a sign of honor. And you can also see the symbol, the man and the woman, and it states USSR or SSSR, Союз Советских Социалистических Республик. Here you can see the symbol of each post office in Russia. It's like an eagle with two heads. And also you can read Почта России or Почта Банк. So let's go then. We can see the red light. And this is Leningradskaya street. This is Leningradskaya street. We need to cross the street. Go. And then I guess we need to stop. Our translation. For some time, and then Masha need to show you some picture. We will stop our stream now. Just don't make us. You can clearly see me, and we're still located here, close to the Samara's post office. We just moved to the shadow, so we still stream, and you can see the buildings on the other part of the street. You can see cafes, restaurants, and then a bit later I will be able to show you Samara's oldest cinema. It is called художественный or art cinema. Here's just a small supermarket. It is called Mall. Here you can see some cafes, some supermarkets, and so on. And actually, I'm very honored because I live in the old city center, just like 5 minutes by foot from the Revolution Square. And this area is absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So this building, this red building, is художественный cinema or art cinema of Samara City. The age of the cinema is around, I guess, more than at least 80 years. At least 80 years. And unfortunately now there are not so many new films. It only shows like, you know, it doesn't have so many cinemas inside. It only have around maybe 2 or 3 rooms for showing films. And also you can see Центр российской кинематографии. It's like the center of Russian cinematography. Oh, also you can see some huge bus. And then we still go. And the next point of our stream, of our live stream today, a cultural program, is Kirka, or Lutheran Church. We need to just go straight for some minutes. You can see some Russian flags that are waving in the wind. It's just like a hotel. Here you can see probably the most famous bank, private bank of Russia. It is called Sberbank. And also you can see a Hotel Volna or Bristol. Just look at those buildings. It's like a small part of St. Petersburg here in Samara. Even if Samara is located far away from St. Petersburg. And we're coming closer to the main building of Samara National Art Museum. Or художественный музей. Художественный in Russian, it means art. It means art. Just here you can find lots of galleries. So this is the main building of Samara Regional Art Museum. So this is the main entrance. And you can find there is only one saint war. The war of labor against эксплуататоры. Как эксплуататоры по-английски? Yes, exploitators, against exploitators. So this is the previous director of Samara Art Museum, Annetta Yakovleva. So we're still going through the street, and we are coming closer and closer to the Lutheran Church. To the Lutheran Church I will be mistaken, but it's probably the only one church Lutheran here in Samara. Because you know that many people who live in Samara, and especially in general in Russian Federation, they Orthodox. So of course we have Muslim people or Catholic or Protestant, but I guess at least 70% of citizens, they are Orthodox. You've already been inside the Orthodox church, so here we show you Lutheran church. So you can see the transport, some buses. The color of this church is pink. You can see the huge building of this church. So then we will go. On the top of this church you can see a cross. But if Orthodox churches, we have some cross with different shapes and the color of the gold. Here you can see just a simple cross without any special ornaments. The main difference between Orthodox Church and Catholics, for instance, or Protestant or Lutheran. Still you can see the building of Lutheran Church. So let's go then. There are not too many interesting places. Just like graffiti on the other building, and we will be able to watch through the another angle. In Russian we just call it kircha. Probably you call it in the same way. So for Russians we call it just church or kircha. So let's go then. Then we will cross the street and go to another street. And if we will turn our camera to the left side, you will be able to see Volga River. This is the Volga coast and see Volga River. And on the other part of the street, you can see some monument of a man who is sitting in the bin, and a dog is looking for him. We will come closer, probably we will be touch it. We will be touch this monument. So we are crossing the street, and what we are going to see, we are going to see the soldier Shui. He's smoking, and you can see that he's a little bit gold, he's a little bit of the other color. Because you know, here in Russia, people prefer to touch. For instance, like I will touch his nose. It means that I would like to become a lucky person. If I will touch, I will become a lucky person. Or on the other myth, that I will come back to this place. So let's go then. Here you can see just a picture, a graffiti on the wall. Here you can see the pilot and the steward and the children. And again, flowers. So let's go. We are on the way to the Samara Philharmonia. Philharmonia is a building where singers or actors or other musicians, they perform. They, for example, singing or playing musicals or just playing actions. It's just like a place where you can see performance of people of art. We are going And on the other side of this street, the street is Nekrasovskaya street. Here you can see the restaurant, of course, and the theater. The theater, камерная сцена. It's just like a small theater without any, rich architecture inside. When I was young, I performed here, I guess that many children perform here as well as me. So we're still on our way in the old city center. Just the same building. On the theater, please let me know if everything is okay. And you can clearly hear me, and if you can clearly see me. Operator, Maria, please tell me if everything is alright. Let me know, okay? If I don't shake camera and so on. Here you can see the tram, Russian new tram. So then we need to turn. Oh, thanks God, we're in the shadow again. Thanks for notification, I see it. I see that everything is alright. Or in Russian, всё хорошо. Хорошо means I'm fine, I'm quite well. If you want, I can speak a little bit Russian. Here you can see just some buildings, not so interesting, and so on. And on the other side, you can see a building with balcony. Just look at this balcony of a specific shape. In Samara, old city center, you can see many of those buildings. We are still going. Спросите, кто-нибудь из участников смотрит? Кто-нибудь из участников, Маша, спросите. So we are still going. Oh, here you can see just a garden, a yard of some of the buildings. So then we're lucky people. We have winter, we have autumn, spring, and summer. And all of those 4 seasons, they changed. Thanks, Masha. Thanks, Masha, for asking. So we are closer and closer. We're closer and closer to Russian Philharmonia. It will be our point. We will stand and talk a little bit, okay? Oh, probably you know, it's just wood. Here in the old city center, we still have wood buildings. And you can see the building, it's made of the wood. Can you believe it? It's 2020. And here in the old city center, we still have wood buildings in Samara city. Can you believe that you will have in your cities, in Helsinki, in capitals, or Canberra, or other cities, you will see wood buildings in the center. Even if you call it old city center, it's still center, because here you can find lots of bars or shops or other kinds of buildings with history, or probably just, I don't know, maybe court you can find, and so on. And people prefer to come here from different parts of Samara city just to enjoy, just for having walking, because Volga River is just around 7 or 10 minutes by foot, and you can just take your towel and then just enjoy your time. We are coming closer and closer and closer. I guess that we will cross the street. I understood that Yuka, you're watching us. It's a pleasure. And it's a pleasure for all those people who just watching us in our live stream. So that's it. This is our Philharmonic. We will cross the street and then we will be able to come next to this building and have a chance to watch it closer. We will cross the street. There are no cars. So that's it. This is Philharmonic building. It's such a huge building, right? More than, I guess, probably 500 people can sit there at one time, and many Russian national actors, singers, artists, they had performed there. Let's come a little bit closer. And what we're going to see, we're going upstairs. Oh, again flowers. It seems like Russian people adore flowers, right? Here you can see closer the architecture of the building. And let's come closer to the monument on this building and read what it states. Here you can see the artist, the musician, of the director of Samara Philharmonia, Dmitry Pavlovich Kogan. He was the director from 2011 till 2013. Yuka, it's better to come to Samara in summer, because in winter it could be a little bit cold. I know that you're from Finland, but still, it can be windy and it can be a little bit dirty. So it's better to come in the mid of May or in summer. So this is the entrance of Russian Philharmonic, and you can see barreliefs. I will zoom it on our Philharmonic. I guess that you can find such buildings or Philharmonic in each Russian city because the design of those, because the design of those buildings was created around, during United Soviet Socialistic Republic period. And you can find some of those buildings everywhere in Russia. So then we will stop. We will stop for a minute. Okay. Oh, here you can see a ginger man on the other part of the street. It's like a part of architecture of the cafe. So we will stop. Okay, and you will have a chance just to maybe drink water and so on. And we will go live again in 2 minutes. Okay. So see you later.
я сейчас выведу себя.
Мгм.
Звук не включить. So, hello again. It's me, Masha Volunteers, who tried to make your excursion better and control our connection. I want to also add that Philharmonia before was the Circus Olymp, is the
Okay, we are on the Frunze Street. We are on the left side. As you can see, there is a museum of museum. One minute. Okay, museum of the famous Russian film director Eldar Rязanov. He was he lived here in Samara. If I don't mistake, maybe from 2 years till 8 years. He didn't live too much, but he always saying that the Kuibyshev, the previous name of Samara, was his was his main and favorite street. And he came back to the Samara in 2006, only in 2006. Well, here on the right side, we see the church, Orthodox Church, Russian church. Very beautiful church. As you can see, I will stop for a moment, show you the big cross. And there is a sign, Христос воскресе, in Russian. When usually in Russia we say it's on the Easter, when the during the Easter, Христос воскресе. Here we see there is a center of tourism. They provide excursion in Samara region, and I guess the other cities too. Where we are coming close to the house museum of the famous Russian writer Alexei Tolstoy. He wrote the book Buratino, which is a Russian version of the Italian character Pinocchio, but he just translated it in, but decided to change some names, some stories, and Buratino become one of the famous character in Russia. And also, he has a lot of similarities with Pinocchio. Also, as you see, Lada is touching his nose. Is also as a Pinocchio. When he lies, his nose starts grow up. And here's the book. I stop for a moment to show you. And he holds in his hand the key, big key, which, as I don't remember, provides from the door of the miracle country, something like that. Yes, if I don't mistake. Here's our friend Buratino. In this house, I show you, very beautiful house, very interesting with interesting color. This was a house of the family Alexei Tolstoy. As you see, there is a усадьба семьи Alexei Tolstoy, which means the усадьба. Усадьба, it means the house, the big house with the garden and everything. It's, okay, we are moving there. Yes, as you see in English, Alexei Tolstoy Memorial Estate. And here we see a little bit story about this house and the main character, Buratino, or Pinocchio. Mhm. And here we see a really beautiful building, only one building in Samara, I guess, Gothic, with a Gothic style. This is a Catholic church. I will show you. If we see from this side, um, it looks like a man is praying. He just raises both hands. This castles on the roof. There is two castles on the roof, so it means that it's like a man. He raised up his hands and praying to God for the peace, I guess. Yes, it's Catholic Church. Yes. Um, I think today is Monday. On Monday it's closed, but we can check it. We can check it out if it's closed or not. It was built in 1906. Yes, and restored only in 1996 because during the Soviet period, uh, it wasn't. There was I think a warehouse, or I don't remember. But as we see on Monday, they don't work. It's closed. Yeah. We are going. Okay, we are going. Here's the Russian Samara tram. Okay, here is the building. This building is a museum of the modern. Yes, we are coming closer. Here's we can see here's the picture how the Catholic Church looks like inside. It's very beautiful. I will show you. It's called the Sacred Heart Roman Catholic Church. As I said, was built in 1906, but and then restored in 1996. We are coming closer to the Museum of the Modern. And I will show you the main door, which is I think really interesting. Interesting you can see there is a sign in Swedish language.
Мгм.
Hello again. Hello, hello. Now we are here in our improvisational studio, and we await when our volunteers come. Come to the Strukovsky Garden. Strukovsky Garden, as I told you before, the first garden in Samara, is one of the favorite place. In this place, in 1904, was the first announced the song. I forgot how it's called in English. Vals, named after на сопках Manchuria. This is a song in order of Russian and Japan war, and it was the premiere of this song. Also, I want to mention that as you saw Philharmonia and as you remember it, in this place was the again premiere, the Symphony Number 7 of Dmitry Shostakovich. During the World War II, Dmitry Shostakovich was in Samara and he finished his Symphony Number 7, Leningrad Symphony. Hello. Leningrad Symphony. And he finished and was showed it at our city. Sorry.
Я помню, что еще была какая-то история, что типа кто-то эти симфонии свистел, да? Что-то такое было, нет?
If I'm not mistaken, yes, maybe, but I'm not sure.
Это была какая-то такая...
Sorry,
Да,
I
я
will
понял.
connect with our volunteers. Хорошо, пока болтаю, короче, все решите. Now, again, me, hello, you hear and you see our studio as it is a point of
Boiling point.
boiling point in that Samara
Может, обратись?
University. As you want, you can
Так, Света, идем ты сделаешь
you
эту
can go
экскурсию.
to the excursion.
Нет? Идем.
Let's go.
Ничего. Вот так, чуть-чуть.
Let's go to Samara University. This is the boiling point, and then we will go to the other point. This is a boiling point of Samara University. Yes, it's translation. Pupils of Samara and in Russia, they have an exam, and now they are preparing, of course, online. And now we can see our university. Let's go.
Вот это дальше. Ты сейчас отслеживай.
This is a pupil of our university. We can see hello, and go further when we await our volunteers. I want to show you our university. This is the building now we are in the building of the fourth floor, and then we will go here. I will show you the beautiful way, and if you go here, you can see the beautiful of our university. Also, I want to add that on the next level, the application officer and all people who want to be students of Samara University, they come to this officer, but not by their own. They come from the internet, because now, as you see, lockdown and whole process in Samara and in Russia and the whole world online, and now we're working together online. Let's return and say hello our volunteers. Now we return. You can see Strukovsky Garden, as I told you before. Strukovsky Garden is a beautiful place.
And clearly see me. You can clearly hear me because I'm standing here alone. And I'm ready to show you, to tell you some info about this street and this garden. And of course we can see Volga River. Please let me know when you will be ready, okay? I'm ready to tell you some info. Напишите, напишите, когда мы будем готовы. So guys, we're still here in Samara City, and now we are standing on the Krasnoarmeyskaya Street. Krasnoarmeyskaya means Red Army. During the Civil War from 1918 till 1922, there was a civil war in our country, in Russia or in Soviet Union, between White Army that was supported the Russian Empire family Romanovy, and between the Red Army, the Revolutionary Army, that was supporting Ulyanov or Lenin. Lenin is the main revolutionary, but his first surname is Ulyanov. Lenin is just a nickname of this person. So we're standing here in Nekrasovskaya Street, or it's Krasnoarmeyskaya Street, named after Red Army. Here you can see the Volga River, and soon we will reach the perfect point for having a good scenery of Volga River and the other coast of Volga River. But now we're standing here in the corner. We still don't know if we'll try any other homes, because I guess it won't be a good idea. So now we're standing here in the corner of Kuybyshev Square, the main street, and Krasnoarmeyskaya Street. And here you can see the main entrance to the Strukovsky Sad, or the Strukovsky Garden. It's one of the oldest gardens of the park in Samara City. It's, as you can see, it's still the park. It goes to the bottom, close to the Volga coast. Inside you can see many trees, many greens. And it was renovated several years ago for the World Cup in 2018, and you can find many interesting places there. So we're still standing in the corner. I'm waiting for my friends, and then we will cross the street and go in probably inside the garden and show you some places. So here on the other side of this corner, the corner of the street, you can see a huge building. It's Pravsoyuz House of Pravsoyuz. Probably you know that during Soviet time, each state organization in Russia, in Soviet Union, had Pravsoyuz. It's like an organization that defends human rights and rights of laborers. On the other, in the end of Kuybyshev Street, because the Kuybyshev Street ends in the next corner, you can find some old buildings. I will zoom it. Some old buildings, such as the Palace of Children or Dvorets Pionerov. Probably you know that during the Soviet time we had like Pioneria, Oktyabrята, Komsomol. It's like different ages of children were divided in some groups, in Pioneria, in Oktyabrята, in Komsomol, in Komsomol. So now, unfortunately, we don't have it, but being a part of such community, being a part of such organization, it was like a proud moment of each Soviet child. For instance, Pioneer, they put on some red scarf, and it was the main thing for the child. They were the happiest people on the earth because they honored these red scarf. So here you can see just some popular restaurants, some Irish pub or Georgian restaurant. You know, the Georgian cuisine is really popular now here in each Russian city because it's a little bit probably fat, but it's really delicious. Just Look at this. Yes, we will go inside the park just for a few seconds to show you inside the park. So then we need to stop just for 1 minute. We will go inside and then we will live again. So we will stop just for several minutes and then go to the park, okay? Stop. And then we are ready to go inside the park. So we are ready to go live. So then you can see we are inside. We are inside the Strukachi or Strukovsky garden. Here you can see a young man and a young lady under the umbrella. Because these fountains in the entrance, standing in the entrance of Strukovsky Park. So let's go further. And what we will be able to see here, you can see the stream, the plan of the park. It's quite large, and blind people they can just touch it and understand where they should go. So then we will go further. We'll go downstairs and probably we will sit on the bench and tell you some stories about this garden or park. So let us sit in the shadow. So let's go. Here you can see some white monuments and you can see a face on this monument. Inside those parks you can find many monuments like the symbol of Samara, or you can find the monument of different people. And young people they prefer to have yoga here, or just to have stretching or do sports in this park. And here you can see a young man, he's skating, and many people prefer to spend their leisure time in this park, but due to the reason because it's hot weather now, it's impossible to sit on the sun, so we prefer to sit in the shadow for not having a heat wave on our head. So if we will go downstairs, we will be able to see Volga River again. It's not a secret. It's obvious that we will be able to see Volga River again. And you know that probably in the end of August there is a flower festival here on this park. As I mentioned before, many Russians, and especially in particular Samara citizens, they like flowers, especially senior ladies. So if you will visit Russian dacha, it's like Russian countryside, a small house summer house, you will be able to find not only flowers, you can see many vegetables, many berries and so on, because Russians is like our culture that came from the Soviet Union time, when we preferred to spend our weekends or our evenings during the summer in this kind of countryside at our dacha. It calls dacha. So it's like a part of our culture, and I guess that at least 60% of Russians, they have their own territory that is called dacha, because during Soviet Union time there were no private buildings, no private territories. So some state organizations, they just gave, for instance, apartments, or they gave something like territories, like places in countrysides for the workers, for the laborers, just like it was like just a symbol of pleasure, I guess. It's just like a symbol of pleasure for their hard work and so on. So now there are not so many people, but I guess that during the weekend you can find crowds here. And this park is located close to the main square of Samara, and the biggest square, can you believe it, the biggest square in Europe, Kuibyshev Square. Of course, it's named after one of the revolutionaries. So it is only around probably 10 minutes by foot from this square, and if we will be lucky, we will go there. But now we will be on our way to Chapayev Monument, to the drama theater and to the viewpoint, and you will be shocked with this view on the Volga and on the other coast of the Volga and to the Zhiguli mountain. So we will stand up and we will stop our translation for a moment. Okay? We will, oh, you can see the cycleman. Cyclist, you can
Hello, it's me, as you remember song again, Adele, if I'm not mistaken, in this one. When we are waiting our volunteers and waiting their future plans, because as you see, Samara now is so very hot city. It looks like Spain, Samara, Spain, because temperature today in some places 41 degrees, of course, below, upon zero. And our technique are not prepared for this hot sun, and this technique wants to make a rest, and then we are waiting for the technique will be ready, we will start. But when we are waiting for, I want to tell you that we have 3 or 4 new location for you. If our mobile phone will be ready to show it, it will be for you. If it not, we will be show it later. Now I want to tell you maybe some extra information about Samara city, about Samara interesting fact. Maybe you know that in Samara there are 30 or 12 bunkers. It's a special place where people can go and be safe. This place allocated underground, and in Samara we also have such places. Why? Because during World War II, Samara was the reserve capital of the USSR. Samara now became a city of glory, of the factory's glory, because during the war period, Samara make a lot of weapons and of course planes for the war. Near 38,000
Okay, we are
planes
close to the Strukovsky
was
Park,
produced in our
walking
city during the war
straight to
period.
the
And now we again
street, and as you can see, there is it's part of Polytechnic University, and the building which are it's not finished yet is the palace of children palace, palace of the pioneer, as it was the really famous children camp during the Sovietic period. Um, here's we can see it's not finished yet. There is on the roof some kind of I don't know what it's called. Interesting stuff. Okay. On this side of the street, it's not too hot, so it's um, great to walk around here. As we can see, there is not too many cars on this street. It's not too noisy. Yes, you can see this building. The building with the birds on the windows and the flag of Samara. As you can see there on the wall, there is a picture how it will be when this building will be finished. I can show you. Yeah, go. Okay, we are now. There is a sign on this building. It's here lived Tikhon Ivanovich Yarashevsky. There is a это улица Ярошевского? Улица Ярошевского? Да.
Yeah.
Okay, Yaroshevsky also. There is a street named after him. Okay, but this street it's named after Shostakovich, famous composer. Yeah, his first music was played here. Yeah, during the war. Yeah. Yeah. And as we can see, there is theater of drama of Samara. We can go there close, and I will show you there much more better. And there is a sign about Shostakovich. Yes, I will show you these beautiful flowers. I don't know how it's called, but it's beautiful.
Театр можно сквозь цветочки показать. О, супер.
Okay. Okay, we are just crossing the street and going close to the theater of drama. And I will, as you can see, there is a monument there, and I will tell you about it a little bit later when we come closer. Now we're on the stage. This is it's called it was building of the gathering in 19 the public gathering uh, building in 1914. So it's in the beginning of 20th century. I was like to see those buildings and imagine how it was during the 19th century or 20th century. So we can go in closer. So, okay, so we can see. So there is a theater. Right. Mm-hmm. We are coming. Okay, this is monument. Uh, there is Chapayev, Chapayev with his army. Chapayev was the famous Russian army leader, as we can say, and he became also character of a lot of stories, movies. He is even um, in modern day. There's a lot of stories about him. He became a character of many Russian anecdotes. Yeah, and he is the war hero. I guess the civil war of Russia during in the beginning of 20th century. Yes, and we are going there. I will show you from the other side. Here's, as you can read in Russian, there is written Chapayev. But there is interesting fact. He always wrote his surname like Chipayev with E, but the correct form is Chapayev. Okay. Okay. Here's a theater of drama of Samara. It was built in 1888. It's a beautiful date. The Russian купцы, как будет? Купцы. Блин. Okay, it was built in 1888. The famous theater of Samara, but nowadays it doesn't work. I hope in September there will be.
Так, так, так. Так, так, так. Так, так, так. Hello. I hope you missed me, but maybe not. So, as you can see now, our volunteers show you the most beautiful place as for me. In Samara, Samara Drama Theater. Samara Drama Theater was founded in 1881. As you can see, it's an old theater in our city, one of the oldest theater. And as you see, this construction looks like the see it sometimes before. Sorry. Right. I switch on sound that you see not twice Mashas, only one Masha. And then I also want to inform you, in previous my streams, I told you about Stalin's bunker and about others bunker in Samara city. And one of these bunker is, now we look at drum theater, then turn after 19 degrees, go straight, come to Samara Culture Institute. We found the entrance, the main entrance of Stalin's bunker. Stalin's bunker is in the real object. In this place there are safety 242 people for 5 days without any communication. This bunker has two different system of light. They have accumulator battery and also special light that for providing electricity in the bunker. Also, bunker have special system with lift. The first lift in Samara, it was built in 1942. The bunker, for your imagine, they 37 meters below ground, and this bunker looks like 12 levels, 12 floor house. As you see 12 floor house, you can compare with the Stalin's bunker. Stalin's bunker has a special place for conversation in the main room, and then the second room at the cabinet of Stalin's. A lot of people
Sorry. So we are live again. Выгружать.
Я тебя включил.
Да, сейчас я звук себя включу. И здесь выключу тоже, что меня слышно.
Давай.
Все норм?
Да, все норм.
It's okay? Hello.
Ну ты себя
Я перевожу. Да.
включи.
Так. So. Hello, dear friends. Again, it's me. I hope you not miss. Now I will show you where our volunteers. Ah, no, not yet. And unfortunately, our time so fast, and we don't want to say goodbye, but we should to say goodbye because our telephone are not ready for our so long walking. If you want to know some information about Samara, please write us. We open for you, and don't miss, because after several times we will again return, not today but maybe tomorrow or after tomorrow. Please don't miss us, and I will tell you next information about Stalin's bunker. Was Stalin's or not? Now it will be secret. Bye. Thank you for being with us.